Madison Public Library connects us to the world, to information, and to each other. September is Library Card Sign-Up Month, so it's the perfect time to explore all that's available to you with a Madison Public Library card. Their online resources include access to the New York Times and the Washington Post, and my favorite, the Libby app, to download audio and ebooks from their collection. Visit madpl.org/signupmonth or stop into any Madison Public Library location to get a card and discover everything you can access with it. Today on CityCast Madison. Move over. It's time for the Great World Dairy Expo. Running the first week of October, Tuesday, October 1st through Friday, October 4th, tens of thousands of members of the global dairy community will congregate here in Madison for the world's largest dairy-focused trade show, and what's considered North America's largest dairy cattle show. You heard me right, a world-class dairy cow competition. In advance of the expo, we sat down with the event's delightful general manager, Laura Hirschleb, to learn more about what's involved in this big week. It's Wednesday, September 25th. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Laura, hello.
Hi, Bianca. How are you?
I'm really good. Feeling connected to my roots and talking to you today.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's their goal, bringing everybody back home, back to where they started.
So the World Dairy Expo is coming to Madison. It's been here since 1967, and it's such a huge attraction and economic driver for the city. It brings over 50,000 attendees and $31 million in revenue to Dane County every year, which is incredible. So for our listeners and folks who are new to the area who have never been, how would you describe the World Dairy Expo?
It's like the Super Bowl of the dairy industry, especially for those of us involved. Even if you love milk and cheese. I mean, who doesn't in the state of Wisconsin? So that's really, I think, a good way to think about it. It's a celebration of all things related to the dairy industry. So we have a world-class trade show that features about 600 companies from all over the world that are participating in our trade show. We have 2,600 head of dairy cattle that are competing on what we call the colored shavings, which are very majestic and on the Coliseum floor to ultimately be named Supreme Champion of World Dairy Expo, which is the highest possible honor an animal can get here at World Dairy Expo. We have over 50 educational offerings for people of all ages, whether it starts with our fourth grade school tours, where we host about 1,200 students from throughout the Dane County area, to our offerings for FFA students, all the way up to educational presentations and an area we call the Knowledge Nook, which is a new product and research stage. And then we have networking. And what's so cool about World Dairy Expo is it is, besides being like the Super Bowl of the dairy industry, it's like a melting pot. We tend to have folks from over 100 different countries that attend World Dairy Expo each year. So we really, truly take the name World Dairy Expo so personally and seriously, and are constantly looking to fulfill that amazing opportunity for our guests that come from around the world.
That is insane. I didn't know just how world focused it was, but you guys have the huge swath of people that come through.
Yes.
When did you start going, and what are you most excited about this year?
Well, so I grew up on a small dairy farm in southeastern Wisconsin. I attended UW-Madison and got a degree in dairy science and ag journalism. So the first time I attended World Dairy Expo was when I was a Badger Dairy Club student. And so the UW-Madison Badger Dairy Club has had a very long history working behind the scenes, working alongside the World Dairy Expo staff to make all things related to the show happen. And that was really my first exposure, was working for Badger Dairy Club. And then also that same year, I had the honor of serving as the Wisconsin Holstein Princess attendant. So I got to sit ringside. It was amazing. It was amazing. Ringside for the Holstein shows to present awards. And it was truly incredible. I mean, it's moments that I will never ever forget. And that just spurred this intense passion. I've always been passionate about the dairy industry, but love World Dairy Expo. It's like an electricity that is, I like to think of it as like a game day, as being like a badger and everything. This is like the game day for the dairy industry, and it just is electric.
And we've got royalty in our midst, former princess, though.
Princess attendant, yes.
Princess
it was
attendant.
an honor to serve in that role, yes.
Well, and I understand one of the most exciting parts of the expo is the theme element. So since 1988, every year there's been a theme, which is a pretty big deal. And I'm really personally, as a filmy, excited about this year's theme. Can you tell us about it?
Absolutely. So this year's theme is the Golden Age. So if you think about what the Golden Age brought and how film and theater and music have all evolved and modernized over the course of time to where it is today and to the diversity that it has today, that's exactly, it's very reflective of the dairy industry. The dairy industry has evolved. It has modernized. It is so specialized. There's just so many different pieces and parts. And even if you don't think like you're part of the dairy industry or you're not sure, if I never work in the dairy industry, well, the modernization, the breadth of jobs and opportunities that are available with the industry is so vast. And so Golden Age just really speaks to it and is very reflective, like I said, of what happened in film and music and Technicolor, if you will.
Yeah, sort of the growth and technological advancements and accomplishments. Exactly. And so would you say, are we in the golden age of dairy right now?
I think we have been in the midst of the golden age for many years, because I think one of the really cool things about World Dairy Expo is so many companies, especially in our trade show, use it as an opportunity to launch new products or showcase some of that new research that they have. And so that, is very similar to how film has evolved, right? And so it's really cool to be able to like bring it all together. And what's also fun about the theme that we've had is I mentioned the colored shavings that our dairy cattle show on.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And I'm like, yes. I need,
need a visual, right?
Yeah.
So if you think about the Alliant Energy Center Veterans Memorial Coliseum, that is where our cattle show takes place. And so we put dirt down on the floor, pack it down, and then put colored shavings. So like think about wood chips, basically, on top of the dirt. And then that's what we refer to as like walking on the colored shavings and walking on the tan bark. And those are words that are just really synonymous with showing dairy cattle. And then, so each year the shavings are a different color and it's a secret. I don't even know what it is. One person on our team knows the color of the shavings, the one who orders them and the company that makes them. And it's a big like unveil of what the colored shavings are going to look like. And then we also, on the south end of the Coliseum,
I'm guessing red for the red carpet.
I can't say. I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny. But then we have like a show ring display. So the whole south end of the Coliseum Bowl, if you will, is decorated, and that's decorated to be similar to what the theme is. So it's really cool. We play it up, and then in a lot of our different trade show exhibits in different areas of the show, our cattle exhibitors, they'll use that theme to plan their decorations for their displays. So you'll see ties and nods to it throughout the event.
A lot of dairy fanfare. I am so here for it. I grew up in Wisconsin as well. And, dairy cows were just definitely a part of the atmosphere and the vibe in small town Wisconsin.
Love it.
Had my hand in a cow's stomach for education at the Sauk County Fair.
I love it. That's yes, it's what it's all about.
It's what it's all about. And I really want to talk about the cows because there are so many cows going to be represented. Cows I had never known any of these names. So can you talk about like what kind of cows are going to be at the expo?
Right. So it's all dairy cattle that are shown. So if you think about it, it is the animals that are producing milk. Okay. So we have 7 different breeds that are showcased at World Dairy Expo. So they each look a little bit different, if you will. So if you think about it, we start off with our International Junior Holstein show. So the Holsteins are the black and white cows that are pretty prominent, probably the most popular that you see around the countryside. And so what's unique about this show, the International Junior Holstein Show, that's all kids. It's kids from the ages of 9 up till 21 that are showing their animals. And then later in the week, we have what we call the International Holstein Show, which is for adults, to basically adult-owned cattle to show them in. Then we also have another breed called Jerseys and Ayrshires. So Jerseys are really well known for their little bit smaller frame. They look a lot like a deer. They have really good components in their milk. And so that would be butterfat, protein, things along that line. We have Ayrshires that also show milking shorthorns that are all other breeds that have their own unique specialties and have very strong characteristics. We have our brown Swiss, which that's always a memorable one that they do not give us brown milk. All dairy cows give us white milk, but they
are chocolate.
Right, exactly. They don't give us chocolate milk. Right, no chocolate milk, but they are big and lovable and have big droopy ears. They're so stinking cute. We have our red and white Holsteins and Guernseys, and then we have, as I said earlier, our International Holstein Show. So it's amazing. And it's the best of the best that come together to show at World Dairy Expo, show in Madison to compete for these esteemed awards.
So are there a bunch of cows like being brought here? Are cows going on planes?
No planes,
no
but
planes,
trailers.
but trailers.
Lots of trailers. I mean, I know for a fact we have people that are already on the road, folks that are coming from the state of Oregon, state of California, over on the West Coast, Western Canada, that are making their plans, are already on the road. And they have stops planned along the way because it's a really long trip, right? So to give the cows a chance to get off the trailer, exercise their legs and just, prepare for their time for the rest of the way to get to Madison.
All in the name of possibly having their cow become the supreme champion?
Exactly. Yeah. How awesome is that?
So you're listening to CityCast Madison. You clearly care about what's happening in our city, and you have excellent taste in podcasts. I've got a recommendation for another local news podcast you gotta check out. It's called 365 Amplified. Every week, the award-winning reporting team behind Madison 365 digs into their most important stories from the week. Stories and perspectives you likely won't get from other mainstream outlets. They invite community leaders, lawmakers, artists, and more on for candid conversations. Recent guests have included former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, State Assembly candidate Renuka Mayadev, and Olympic 200-meter silver medalist Kenny Bednarek. Yeah. Look for new episodes every Friday at madison365.org/amplified or search 365 Amplified wherever you're listening to this right now.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
Do the cows have names?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, they have personalities. They all especially, all cattle are impeccably taken care of, whether they're at home or at a fair or at a show. But I mean, they're getting the spa treatment. These are really world-class athletes. They're like Olympians. Our dairy producers are so sophisticated in that these cows are each on their own diet. They have their own amount of water that they drink and times that they get a bath, times that they get walked. It's a very, very precise equation that these dairy cattle owners have refined so that the cattle look their very best when they hit the colored shavings to compete. So it's so cool, right? It's so special that this all happens 2 miles from our office here in Madison at the Alliant Energy Center. So really cool.
It's wild. I mean, these cows, some of them are probably healthier than some of some
For real.
residents.
I think they probably have a better diet than I do. I mean, my goodness.
So looking at the list of past winners, there are some pretty fun names
Yes.
I'm seeing. What are some of the best or more creative contestant names that you've seen?
Oh my goodness. I mean, well, this is one, maybe not at World Dairy Expo. I saw it at another show that I was at, but it was inspiration for something else. I saw a youth had a calf named Poppy Seed. And I thought, gosh, that's really creative, right? Like, and so I actually shared that with some friends, and another friend of mine went on to name her coffee shop the Poppy Seed. And the inspiration, I mean, because we were trying to think, this was like a lifelong goal of hers. And she's trying to think of what should I call it? I'm like, well, I just saw this calf Poppy Seed. It was a great name. I thought super original, and it took off from there.
I adore that. That is so cute. Where is the coffee shop?
It was up in DeForest.
Oh, it was in DeForest. Okay.
Yes.
I love poppy seed muffins. So, and
Right?
it's screaming Gilmore Girls, but
Exactly. Yep.
So as you mentioned, apart from the cows who will be competing, which is so much fun, there's also this huge trade show and some human contests.
Yes, exactly.
Anything exciting to look out for with that?
Oh my gosh. Well, so the trade show is amazing, right? Like it's really cool because, as I said, any level of involvement you have within the dairy industry, there's some sort of equipment, some company that is going to fill your needs, right? And the other thing is you can make product comparisons right on the spot. You can say, we have an app as well as a website that you can go onto and say, okay, I want to look for a new feed mixer, right? And so I want to know which companies and where they are located within the trade show, so that I can go around and look at these different mixers and ask some questions of their sales representatives and ask all the questions that I have right in one spot. So we have a number of different areas. We occupy the entire exhibition hall at the Alliant Energy Center with booths. We have an outdoor trade mall. We use the main concourse of the Coliseum for trade show booths. And then we erect a 30 meter by 145 meter tent to also hold our commercial exhibits or our trade show booths. So it's vast, it's immense.
Stuff
There's
at the
so
gills.
many. Exactly. So then, as you mentioned, the contest. So it's all about inspiring the next generation, right? And so people have this amazing opportunity to get involved in World Dairy Expo at different ages. And so one of those ways to do that is through our youth contests. We have a showmanship contest, which is for kids that they have an opportunity to show their calf and be judged on how well they're displaying their calf. We have a fitting contest, which is how well you get them ready. So if you think about like getting ready to go to like prom or something like that, or for, a very special occasion, that's what these youth are doing, is they're preparing the cattle to look their absolute very best. We have judging contests. So it's where there are youth from 4-H and college students who are coming to evaluate groups of cattle. They place them and then they give reasons about their placings. We also have contests for FFA students. We have contests for dairy producers who are growing feed for their animals. It's called the World Forage Super Bowl. And they can submit their feed samples and have them evaluated to determine their quality. Plus, we also have dairy products auction. There's something for everyone.
There truly is. And I love the cow dress up and the picturing in prom dresses. And
right, exactly. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah. And it's so much skill building. I love that.
Yes.
It truly is. It's multi-generational. I'm just proud. I'm vicariously proud hearing about this expo and having this space that's so full scale for the dairy industry and industry almost. It's more than that. It's everything dairy. Exactly.
And it's often, I think, a really good way to also think about Expo is it's a family reunion. It's a bringing together of generations. It's people that you maybe only see one time a year, but that reinvigoration that you feel from getting connected and knowing that you're not alone, that people may be sharing your struggles and are celebrating your successes it's like no other. It's so special.
Well, I heard about one possible challenge that y'all are facing this year is around preventing bird flu. So speaking about challenges, shared challenges folks are facing, bird flu was detected in cattle this March. So
Correct.
what's the expo doing to keep cows safe, and has that affected attendance at all?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So we have always taken biosecurity very seriously. When we have cattle coming from nearly 40 different states, 6 or 7 different Canadian provinces, we recognize the privilege that it is to host all of them and that they need to get back home healthy, that they have home herds to go back to. And so for the last 15 years, we have been working very closely with UW-Madison Vet School to every animal that comes onto ground basically has to be checked by a veterinarian before they leave their farm. Their veterinarian fills out what we call a certificate of vet inspection that says, yep, they're healthy. They don't have any illnesses, not anything like that. And we literally do a cross-reference of identification on that form to every single animal before they get off the trailer to say, yep, you all have been checked within the last 30 days of coming to World Dairy Expo. So that's been happening for the last 15 years. What the additional precautions that we are taking this year, and we have been working very, very closely with the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, their veterinarians, other leading vet authorities within the state and nation to all animals, lactating animals, so all milking cows coming to World Dairy Expo have to have a negative influenza A test to come. And influenza A is that highly pathogenic avian influenza, the H5N1. So it's all synonymous. So, and we haven't had a case of bird flu in the state of Wisconsin, and we want to keep it that way. So, we have been providing guidance for our dairy producers to work closely with their herd veterinarian to come up with a plan for getting to World Dairy Expo and getting back home. And, we're forever grateful for the close working relationship that we have, as I said, with the vet students, with the vets in Wisconsin and the nation, but also just that vets around the country are supporting our dairy producers and dairy exhibitors so they can get here to World Dairy Expo.
Shout out across the board. And we're loving all of these throws to UW and the connection that they have with the World Dairy Expo and starting with you being there.
Yes.
So,
yeah. I mean, and World Dairy Expo has our long history working with various professors and pieces of representatives within the College of Agriculture. So it's been happening a long time, and it's really important to the foundation of Expo.
Well, for folks who might not be able to make it in person, but want to see some of this magical action from afar, is there another way we can catch it and be involved?
Yes, absolutely. So we have a feature called Expo TV, which basically provides 3 channels broadcasting the cattle show, and then a 4th channel that broadcasts our educational offerings. And that is a subscription-based service. So for $30, you can see all of the breed shows, all of the cattle shows, 50 plus offerings of educational seminars, virtual farm tours, knowledge nook sessions, and throughout the week. You can get access to that through our website on worlddairyexpo.com. And then you can access it at any time. You can see all of that content again after the show, and it will be out there for you to archive and review at any point in time. So Expo TV on the worlddairyexpo.com website is the place to go.
I love that. And since this is such a universe and there's going to be so much activity and folks coming into town, are there any related events happening in the Madison area that Expo goers can attend, like an after party?
Well, there really are. There are a number of different events that are happening. I mean, the days are jam-packed. I think that's what, the official event days are October 1st through the 4th, and you can go onto our website to see the schedule of events. I mean, oftentimes people are like, I don't get to see everything. Like, we occupy the entire 164-acre campus of the Alliant Energy Center, and that's a lot of ground to cover, So that is one of the really great things about Expo TV is that if you're not able to, you can decide, okay, plan your route, right, if you will, and then what you want to see in person, what you want to maybe see after the fact by viewing Expo TV, and so that you can basically relive it all year long. So there are various organizations that hold other events and things like that throughout the city of Madison, and it's a celebration of all things dairy.
It sounds like the best kind of celebration. It has been so delightful and fun and interesting talking with you, Laura.
Same with you, Bianca.
Yeah, this expo sounds so legit. Thank you for taking the time to inform us about all of the fun activities happening.
Well, thank you so much for your interest and support of World Dairy Expo and the dairy industry. And we're excited to bring this event back again in just a couple of days.
That's Laura Hirschlip, General Manager of the World Dairy Expo. If you want to learn more about the World Dairy Expo's schedule and its events, head to our show notes for a link. That's all for today, here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin. If you enjoyed the show, why not share this episode with your favorite cowgirl or cowboy, or someone who is an FFA. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more stories from around the city. Ciao.